Hi, I'm Sandy from Special Fork, and today we're making a blueberry apple crisp. It's a nice homey dessert, and it's especially good served warm right from the oven with a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top. You know, it's as satisfying as pie, but it's so much easier because you don't have to make a dough, you don't have to roll it out. This is something anybody can do, even for the very first time. So we're going to start by making the topping, and I'm going to start with oats. And be sure to use old-fashioned oats because we don't want instant oats. It's just too fine. We want a nice crumbly texture to this. Now I'm going to add sugar. And then flour. A little more. Some cinnamon. And I'm going to mix this up with my hands. And you'll see why. We have to amalgamate butter, which I've cut in cubes. And the best way to get that butter in with the mixture is to squish it together. So it's kind of fun. You get to play with your food. You know, people ask, what is the difference between a crisp and a crumble? And as far as I can tell, a crumble is the British term for the very same thing. We Americans call this a crisp. And the difference is that we use oatmeal that the British don't, and it adds some nice texture to our topping. It takes you a little bit to go through. Be sure your butter is soft. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get all the dry ingredients mixed up with the fat. And if you start with softened butter, it goes a little easier, a little faster. There we go. Now I'm going to add nuts. And you can use pecans or walnuts. And again, you're just mushing all this together. Okay, I think now the topping is just about done. We're going to make the filling. For the filling, I have 4 cups of apples. And you see I have 2 different types. I have the greener ones, which are Granny Smiths, and they're tart and firm. The yellow ones are Golden Delicious apples, and these apples are soft and sweet. And when you combine them together, so it makes for a more interesting texture. Now I'm going to add the blueberries. And blueberries are very high in nutrients. They are antioxidant powerhouses. So they're great for any kind of dessert. I'm putting flour, the remainder of my flour, and my sugar. And I'm going to toss this together. There we go. I'm going to put this into our baking dish. And we've already put some butter on that dish. We've greased it with butter. And now we're going to just get these all settled in so they're all nicely mixed. Blueberries and both kinds of apples. Then we put our topping. Just sprinkle it all over the top. Get all these apples covered. You know, this is a great recipe that you can also serve for breakfast because when you come down to it, it's almost just like granola and fruit for the morning. Okay, and you can use fresh or frozen blueberries, and so this is one of those recipes you can do all year long. Now I'm going to put this in the oven for at 375 degrees for 50 minutes, and that's the entire recipe. Now I've got one that I've made that's just about warm. You'd never want to serve this really hot because you could burn your mouth and that would not be very pleasant. Ah, this looks so good. Fruit and topping. It's delicious. Try it. And for more recipes, go to specialforkblog.com.